If we eat one night, we don't the next. After selling my kidney, I feel like I'm half a person.
Wow.
I feel hopeless.
No.
If life continues like this, I feel I might die.
So if anybody wants to get eggs from Edna, please holler at her for 10K per egg.
Look at me. I'm strong. I'm healthy. I study epidemiology. It's in my genetics.
No, an egg promo. Hello, Globies. Welcome to the World Health Investigation Podcast. My name is Jocelyn.
I'm Edna. We are young global health professionals and your hosts for the World Health Investigation Podcast,
also known as the WHI. We will be discussing all things global health, unpacking the most controversial health and social issues,
as well as promoting new wave global health development and equity.
So, Edna, what's the tea in global health today?
We got some tea to spill today. So much tea to spill. I mean, you need to be careful in case you damage your organs.
Organs? Can I just say, I just love your necklace. It's just giving bling bling.
Thank
it's
you.
shiny. She
My
got all the colors.
chain.
Making money.
Yeah. I remember I got this chain as a gift for myself. Like, there was just a sale. And they're like, it's coming like in this amount and in a little gift box. I said, you know what? Yeah.
Why not?
I'm going to get it for myself. And I took that gift box.
She said, right there.
Yes.
There you have. Would you take my heart as a gift though?
Hey.
Would you take my heart?
Take your heart?
Yeah.
If you're giving it to me.
If I gave you my heart.
For free.
Will you take it?
I mean, if you're offering, it'd be rude to say no, right?
My real heart.
It'd be rude to say no, right?
I would be very offended.
Yeah.
If you said no.
If I said no, I don't want your heart.
So, anyways, that leads me on to my case study.
Okay.
They reported this man that said that he had surgery to remove his kidney. And he showed a picture of this 9-inch scar with stitch marks explaining what happened. And do you want to read out why he did it and how much it costs?
Yeah, no, so we're looking at the picture now. That's a nasty scar. That's a wicked scar. So Ammar was paid about 270,000 Afghanis, and that's the equivalent of about $3,100 for the organ. That's how much it was paid for his kidney. Most of which went into repaying money he had borrowed to buy food for his family. And he said, if we eat one night, we don't the next. After selling my kidney, I feel like I'm half a person.
Wow.
I feel hopeless.
No.
If life continues like this, I feel I might die.
That sounds devastating.
That is devastating because you can see people are now having to choose around basic human needs, like, do I eat today or not? Do I give away my kidney or not? No, it's a terrible situation to be in.
It's terrible. It's a terrible situation to be in, and it just makes me think, do you think he could have gotten more money from that?
From his kidney?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, he could have.
He literally only got about what, $3,000?
$3,100, yeah. Yeah, it's because of the fact that, like, just reading around, I'm like, no, people have sold kidneys for more money. Or if he had sold it to a rich enough person that was desperate enough. Yeah.
Okay, that leads me on to the topic of the week, which is, should you sell your organs? Should people sell their organs?
Should people just sell their organs?
What do you think? And would you sell your organs?
Would I sell my organs? Right now, today, no. No. But I'm also not in any kind of economic situation where I have to make that decision, right? So no, I wouldn't sell the classic organs, shall we say?
But
classic.
You don't need a kidney.
But like, God gave me 2 kidneys. Why would I give away the other one? For why?
You don't really need the other
unless
one.
it's like my mom needs a kidney, my brother, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Look, her family must be listening to this blushing.
They must.
She would give me her kidney.
If we're a match, if not, sticky one.
Are you secretly wishing that?
No. Of course not. Of course not. I understand biology. I could live with one. But 2 is great.
You selfish woman. Anyways,
like kidney. Heart, these big organs. I wouldn't feel that comfortable, like like selling those.
Yeah.
However, blood is an organ. I don't mind selling my
Donate.
blood.
Will you not donate or will you sell it?
Huh?
Will you donate or will you sell it?
If I could get money
Okay,
for
okay,
donating
okay.
blood, I would.
You would.
But obviously, I'm understanding, we don't have that kind of a market, so I would still donate blood like for free.
For free.
I'll do that. Okay. And ego too. I don't mind donating
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, you can make a lot of money.
You can make a lot of money. A liver, a part of my liver, because it will regrow. That one I don't mind too much.
It will regrow.
Yeah. I don't mind selling those ones.
But not the kidney.
No.
She said, not the kidney. I think for me, would I first of all sell my organs? It depends how old I am, first of all.
Oh.
I think it depends. I think right now, maybe not. Because I feel I don't know what's at risk here. I don't know what kind of complications I'm going to experience in the next 10 years.
But if you were like 70.
Yes.
You were like, just take it. Like,
I
don't have much long.
I don't have much long anyways. Take it.
Just take it.
Give the rest to my children.
Whoever wants it, like.
Take it back for free. You have it.
Let me experience a bit of life without the kidney.
Yeah, why not? I feel like that would even be an interesting experiment for me,
Yeah, you say, yes, I'm a hero.
I'm a hero.
I've donated.
At 70, you just see me like, yep.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm selling organs. You want organs for free?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. You say, even at 70, people can contribute to society.
Edna, what are you implying? This woman. You see the way I got her?
I'm just saying it's a common misconception. I personally don't
think so. Okay, just check it.
Thank you.
As a fellow Globie.
As a fellow
Queen Globie.
Yes, we value all lives.
We value all lives.
Yeah.
Okay, that leads you to our question now. Should people sell their organs? Should we make it legalized? Should that be there? So I'm going to give you a few statistics.
Hit me.
And before even first of all give you the statistics, let's differentiate. What's the difference between an organ donation and organ trade? Yeah. Particularly illegal organ trade. So organ donation is when a person agrees to donate one of their organs to another person. Like, Edna, I gave you my heart.
Relax.
I gave you my heart.
Oh my God. For free.
I
didn't even ask for it, but you just gave me.
Yeah.
That's not my fault.
See, I'm just generous like that.
Okay.
But some people are ungrateful. The organ...
The shade.
See how ungrateful she is.
The shade.
You need to do better.
We'll talk off camera.
The organ is then removed and transplanted into Edna's body, into as a candidate, because she needs it. And some organs, such as kidneys, can be donated while still alive. So as I'm still alive right now.
Yeah, let him breathe.
She barely is.
Wow.
So I would kindly, offer out of my generosity.
Yeah.
My heart.
Yeah. Guys, so Justin's feeling spicy today because Cameroon lost to Switzerland. Anyway.
She didn't just go there. This is why she needs help. This is exactly why I need to give her my heart.
Wow.
Anyway. Now, what is illegal organ trade? Illegal organ trade, according to the World Health Organization, it is when trade occurs when organs are removed from the body. So if I decide that, Edna, I'm giving you my heart, but in exchange, I want minimum $20 million in my account every month.
What?
Every month.
I'm renting your heart.
Yeah.
Jocelyn. It's not even you who enjoyed that money. Because if you give me your heart, like, that's a wrap on Jocelyn.
Yeah, but my family enjoys it.
What's the point in that?
You will get rich.
What's the point in that?
So let's say I won't give her my heart. She's not that special. I'll give her maybe my kidney.
I don't even want your heart. You didn't ask for it. I'll take a kidney though.
Guys, we're just throwing it today. But that would be an example of organ trade, and it's not legal to do that. So that would be illegal.
That would be illegal.
Not especially in this United Kingdom. We're not allowed to do that.
You can't do that.
But despite debate and arguments against organ sales, this practice is still persisting. There
It
are
happens.
people that do it.
It happens.
So what are the stats? Their studies estimate that anywhere from 5% to 42% of transplanted organs are illicitly purchased.
5 to 42%.
Yes.
Wow.
And they can't get an exact number, obviously, because
Yeah.
it's in the black market
Yeah.
and people are trying to get, say, on the low.
Yeah, obviously, black market, it's dark, so they can't count in the
They
dark.
can't. And oh, what kind of joke? Like, somebody take her, please. I'm out.
You were really like, yeah.
I was trying to follow. I was like, I have hope for you. That hold up. What did you just say? What kind of a joke is that?
Honestly, it's just logic, innit?
Do not embarrass
Common
me.
sense.
Do not embarrass me. But yeah, that's the statistic that I think is actually, that might be an underestimate.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
it happens a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
Do you remember that woman that had her kidney stolen in Switzerland? The Geneva.
Bruh, yo, this was just a girl who was out and about regularly, safe Geneva.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was just like out of it. She had drank a bit too much.
Yeah.
And was just out by herself. Her friends left her. I'm looking at them too. And somebody saw this poor girl and said, "Oh,
She didn't even know, did she?
she didn't know until she just woke up." She's like, "Wait a minute.
Why do I feel a bit?
Yeah.
Why do I feel a bit uneasy today? She
Yeah.
goes to the hospital. The doctor tells her, you have a missing kidney.
So it's gone, babe.
It's gone.
The kidney is just gone."
So these things happen a lot more often than you think.
Yeah.
Even in a place like Geneva, where
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect that from Switzerland.
No. I walk around Geneva just like late at night, just like,
Nah, shady things happen in the world, yeah.
stay
Shady
woke.
things happen. Stay woke out there. So now research also indicates that illegal organ trade is on the rise, and with a recent report by the Global Financial Integrity estimated that the illegal organ trade generates profits between 600 million and 1.2 billion per year.
1.2 billion. That's $1 billion industry.
That's $1 billion industry.
Okay.
Illegal
Illegal,
industry.
yeah.
And data from the WHO also shows that in the illegal organ trade, they're predominantly impoverished people in developing nations. And in one study, they also showed that organ donations in India, for example, that there are 71% of all donors that fell below the poverty line.
Yeah, and if you remember poverty line, $1.90 per day, apparently.
Yeah, if you remember from that previous episode, which you
Okay,
should have listened
yeah.
to and watch.
Yeah.
So that's just to give you an overall idea that even within this market, it's mostly the poor people that end up being negatively impacted.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? How
Who-
surprising.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, so an accounts for this practice usually characterize the victims as unemployed individuals between the ages of 20 and 40. So for the people, I said earlier that I would rather sell my organs at the age of 70, but it looks like there are quite a few young people out there that are
Yeah.
keen.
Keen people.
Keen people.
I'm not gonna lie, if I'm 70, I'm like,
I still want to live to 100 though.
Alright, that's fair enough.
That's fair.
That's fair enough if you have that goal. But if I'm like, I lived a nice life,
Yeah, that just let it go.
let it go.
So now, what's the statistic in the US saying? The global, top country. What are they saying? So according to Statista, which is the global statistics platform, the estimated number of organ transplantations worldwide was just below 130,000 in 2020.
Okay.
This is quite a low number considering that there are so many people on the waiting list. I think the numbers for the waiting list are way beyond that. Around 41,000 a year are on the waiting list per year in the US.
Yeah.
So it doesn't align because
It's not matching.
It's not matching. And most countries usually have laws that either have an opt-in system or an opt-out system. Do you want to explain what that is, Adina?
Yeah. I actually love the concept. So typically what you have are these like in systems where essentially if you want to donate your organ, then you sort of register to say, I want to donate my organ. You go out of your way to say, yeah, I'll do it. You know, once I die, just take my organs.
Take me.
Just take them. It's all right.
Yeah.
However, you can also have these like opt-out options where it's like everyone is assumed from the beginning to already be registered as someone where you can donate your organs, where we can take your organs. But if you don't want that to happen, then you sort of opt out. You go to the people at the organ registry, which is a real thing I made up. You say I want out of this system.
Out of the system.
I want out of the system. No, it was really like I remember my dad telling me it's like an economic person that like came up with this whole thing, and so a lot of countries nowadays outside of organ transplantation like switch to these things where, you know, instead of making something like forcing people to go out of their way to do something, it's like just let them opt out.
Let them opt out. No, that's
really
quite effective. It has been quite effective. And examples of opt-out systems would be the United Kingdom. So we're doing good. Argentina, Spain, and the countries that have opt-in systems include Brazil, the United States of America.
Of course they would. Of course America would. They would say, I don't want you to go out of your way.
No, they said no. We will not. And Israel as well, they have opt-in systems. So now, further statistics. So the most expensive transplantation, what do you think is the most expensive? If you were to sell an organ, which one do you think would be the most expensive to sell?
My heart.
Your heart? You giving me your heart?
Not you.
Wow.
Not you.
Wow.
The highest bidder though.
So
Wait. How much would you give me for my heart?
Yeah, not how much would I give? Oh, that's a different. How much would I give you?
Yeah, how much would you give me for my heart?
I think like $200. That's
Jeez!
good.
Jeez! Wow!
$200?
I felt it in my spirit.
Yeah,
you don't deserve my heart.
That's generous.
You don't deserve. I'd rather go to the black market.
That's above the poverty line now.
Huh?
That's above the poverty line.
It's so you just accept it.
Yes.
$200 that will last me maybe how many days? 20 days. 20 days living just on the poverty line. What do you mean?
Whereby?
What's wrong with you?
So how much do you think it costs to sell a heart? How much do you think it would be, the value of a heart?
How much I think others would value my heart, or how much I value my heart?
Good question. How much do you value your heart, first of all?
I don't even have a value for my heart.
Okay. How would you
Jocelyn.
think? I do though, for you. How much do you think others would value your heart for?
I feel like it has to be between on the low end, like the cheap hearts, like, you know, maybe someone with a heart problem. 500K.
500K.
500K for like a working-ish heart, but for like a prime heart like my own, maybe someone would think like $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
She said $1 million heart.
I don't have a value in my heart, but I feel like others.
$1 million. So if you would sell your heart for $1 million, how much would you sell your kidney?
Oh, kidney, because I can live with just one. Maybe a nice 200K.
200K.
Yeah.
How much would you sell your eggs?
Oh, okay. Those ones, yeah. Okay. Children are very valuable. You know, some people. No, it's very serious.
Yeah.
Some people cannot have them. How desperate are they?
How desperate
for the child? My one egg. Man, how much are we willing to pay for a child?
So how much is that?
How much is that? Per egg?
Per egg.
Per egg. Okay, so IVF, they normally need like quite a few eggs. I'll do like 10K per egg.
10K. Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So 100K, you can get 10 eggs.
She's an expensive woman. So if anybody wants to get eggs from Edna, please holler at her for 10K per egg.
Look at me. I'm strong. I'm healthy. I study epidemiology. It's in my genetics.
No, an egg promo. Anyway,
No. How much are you willing to sell your eggs for?
my eggs, I would say maybe a few $1,000s, you know.
Like how
About
many?
like 5K per
5K.
egg. Yeah.
Just a bit.
I know I'm fertile.
Yay! Hey! She's gonna have plenty to spare.
Many to spare. It is called equivalence. It's called, what do you call it? Marketing.
Marketing.
Yes. Economies of scale.
Economies of scale.
Yes.
So what you're
business.
trying to do is keep me out of business.
Yes.
By selling them for half the price.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Can come back.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow. You decide. You know.
So those are my eggs. So now, in terms of statistics for organ donation, so data on organ donation proves that a single donor can save up to 70 lives. So if you come to any of us, one of us giving an organ, like a kidney, you could save up to 70 lives because you're 70. I said 70. Yeah. 7 lives.
Yeah.
Because you're reducing the wait list, that very, very long wait list that we spoke about earlier. And also, a kidney from a living donor lasts for about 15 to 20 years. So that's a very valuable kidney.
A lot of decades.
And based on living organ donation facts. So it's also estimated that more than 50,000 people in the US need a heart transplant. And
how many thousand?
50,000 people in the US need a heart transplant.
Wow. So 50,000 people willing to pay me like $1 million.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So do 1 million times 50,000. If you were to just think about it.
Okay. Think about it.
Yes, but you only have one heart.
I only have one.
Does it make sense? And over 107,000 people are registered on the National Organ Transplant waiting list. So it's quite a long waiting list.
Yeah.
Therefore, there's a need for it. And earlier on, we speak about egg donors and how much they're compensated. It's about $10,000 to $12,000. It's not for one egg though. So, ma'am, sit down.
Wow.
That's based on the stats for organ donation.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Now, what are the arguments for organ selling and against organ selling? What do you think? Are you for or against?
On the whole, I am against. I am against introducing some kind of organ market. I think that is just dangerous and very risky and might introduce more problems than it does solve them.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Can you expand, Miss Edna?
Of course I can. I think for me, the prime thing is when you think about it, let's say you allow people to sell their kidneys. Anyone can buy their kidneys, anyone can sell their kidneys. What essentially happens now is like, I will sell my kidney to the person who gives me the most money. So I feel like it ends up creating a situation where you are allocating the organ not based on need, but just based on money. So it's not based on who needs it the most, who is like at the end of their life, who can benefit the most from the kidney. It's just who's the highest bidder. I'll give my kidney to that person.
It's not equitable.
And it's just going to increase that gap between like the rich people and the poor people. Like the poorer people will just not benefit at all, while the rich people are the ones that can benefit the most.
That's interesting, you know. So now do you think that's your main argument?
That's my main like bottom line argument. Yeah.
And so do you now think that there's this argument that people that selling organs does impact human dignity? Do you think that organ trade is undignifiable in a way?
I think in a way it is. I would consider it because now I would feel as if like I'm a walking price tag. You know what I mean? I'm like
$10,000.
You know? Corneas as well. People can donate their corneas. You know what I mean? So like 4,000 for the 2 eyes, 8,000. You know what I mean? Anything, anyhow, now can just be traded. So yeah, I think it'd be a bit undignifiable. It can make me feel like undignified of like to know that like something that I might not put a price on, like something that to me I'm like it has infinite value. Someone else will be like, that's 20K.
So you think it violates human dignity then?
I think it can violate human dignity. Yeah.
It can violate.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to the question of what is human dignity intuitive? This is quite a philosophical thing.
Intuitive.
Yeah. Do you think that because you have given a part of your body away, it's intuitively making you feel undignifiable? Or is it no?
So I think if I were to consent to like giving away part of my body, it's not necessarily that I'll feel like I have lost some of my. I might though. I might feel like I've lost part of my dignity, but not from the fact that I have one less kidney now, but from the fact that I have been driven into a situation where I had to give up part of my body. That is the part that I'm like, the situation that led me to that is what I'd find like that would reduce my dignity.
Your dignity.
I don't know, what do you think?
So in a way, I think it depends on how you define human dignity, right?
Yeah.
Some people would argue that human dignity could be influenced by autonomy, the ability to decide whether or not they want to do something or not.
Yeah.
So my question now to you is, in the context of biomedical ethics, is self-dignity determined by autonomy and self-determination, or is this just an intuitive notion?
Yeah. Wait, repeat that last part. Is
dignity, self-dignity, determined by autonomy, or is sorry, let me ask again.
Yeah.
Is self-dignity determined by autonomy and self-determination, or is this just an intuitive notion?
My first instinct would be to think it's more of an intuitive notion. Because it's like, for instance, a child is not necessarily someone that you say would have like full autonomy. You know what I mean? They're still under the care of their parents. They go to school, eat your vegetables. But you wouldn't say a child doesn't have dignity simply because they don't have autonomy. So that's why I feel like I'm more on the side of it may be something that's more intuitive. I don't know. What do you think?
I think with your example of a child, I think that despite a child not having full autonomy, it's still highly recommended for a child to have autonomy. This even with their parents choosing for them. So even when you're making a decision for your child, you have to say, are you okay with this? Is this okay, sweetie? You explain the complications, you explain this, but you obviously try to communicate and let them know what's happening. You don't decide for them.
Yeah.
You know, unless you have to absolutely intervene, right?
Yeah.
But that goes back to the question of what is like human dignity and like how is self-autonomy. I think that I get what they argue. I get why they would say that, because same with our previous episode where we talked about people need to have the right to choose and determine what's happening with their body. But I think for me, it is in a way. I think it is in a way determined. Human dignity can be determined by self-determination and autonomy. But I do not think that organ trade is always indignifiable. So I think that there are some times where an organ trade can be indignifiable when you don't want it to be. You don't you think you don't really have that autonomy. It's more so a life or death situation, or I'm a ride or die. I have things to do. I have to do this. That's not out of your will to say, I'm just chilling in my room and I just feel like selling my kidney for $100,000 today.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. So, I mean, I do get the both pros and cons.
Yeah. But for me, I do find this question of dignity, or like what is considered indignifiable, interesting. And that's why I made the distinction of like, I don't think the actual idea of an organ no longer being in my body is like less dignity, because it's like, if I did it as a donation, I'm considered a hero, aren't I? And that's something that's like, that's a lot of dignity. That has a lot of respect. So it's like, it's more about the reason that I'm doing it that might make me feel like, less dignity for my body.
Yeah, that leads me on to the reasons now. Yeah. So now there are some arguments that the removal of a healthy organ does violate the wholeness of the body. So just there's most people, I mean some people would agree that the body is not a means to an end, it's an end. So your body is already a whole as it is. So why are you using it to get other things? That's one argument. Why are you just using it to make, especially your internal organs?
Yeah.
So now, do you think that the removal of a healthy organ violates the, I quote, wholeness of the body?
I don't think so. Yeah, like that kind of triggered me because it's like I could use my body to do so many things that will give me money. I could use my body to compete in sports. I could use my body to just fight people. I could use my body for sex work. And so, like, I don't feel like that's any reason to say, oh, you know, why are you using your body to do these things? Like, I can use my body to do so many things.
I think
that can give me money.
Yeah, I think this argument is more so the wholeness, like all your body parts are intact. I think that's the idea of like wholeness in terms of from head to toe.
Yeah.
There's nothing missing.
Yeah. I don't know. I still don't quite agree with that argument because it's almost assuming as if someone who's missing something is not whole.
It's not whole.
It's like I could have really just been born in that way. Like if half my heart is not functioning, am I now like less whole? Like what's that about?
Yeah.
Someone who donated a kidney, someone who had kidney failure, just because one of the kidneys is missing, are they now no longer whole? Like, yeah. I don't feel good about that argument.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
I don't like it either. I think that's one of the intuitive, I quote, arguments that people have against organ trade. It's that if we encourage organ trade, then this whole part of you just missing.
Yeah.
You're not a whole human being. You are half. Or 1/4, I don't know.
I don't know.
So yeah, those are the so what are the arguments against organ selling? So it's argued that usually most people are against it for these reasons. Allowing the practice of organ selling inherently runs the risk of promoting the notions that, as you said, some people have less worth than others, and that persons have a price which is incompatible with dignity.
Yeah.
And the prospect of buying and selling human organs raises ethical issues. And the argument offered by most people that are against the marketing of human organs are mostly founded on different factors such as under which it takes place, the motives for participating in such transactions, outcomes of the practice, so like what's going to happen to them afterwards, what are the long-term complications, especially because there has been reports around people, especially in countries where it is legal, that even after years they are seeing some liver complications, some kidney complications, some long-term lifelong complications on these people. So those are the arguments against. And now
I would just add to that as well, like in terms of being against the sale of organs, I would also say it's like if you also imagine a situation where it is legal, we speak of this thing of like an asymmetry of information where it's like I may know more about my health status than you do.
Yeah.
Right? So it might mean like, you could do screening or whatever for the organ, but let's say in a questionnaire you ask me something like, oh, how frequently do you drink per week? I could lie. And there's nothing you can do about that because it's just naturally occurring. I'll know more about my life and my health habits than you do. So it's like you can never maybe truly assess the health of an individual that is trying to sell their organs.
Yeah, you don't really know.
You don't really know. Do you know their family history? You know what I mean? And then also to add to that is, why don't we think about like alternatives? You know what I mean? Like, why don't we invest more in, lab-grown organs? That could be another option in terms of like actually increasing supply of the organs rather than going straight to
people.
Yeah, going straight to selling.
Taking lives for other lives.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It doesn't. Why does it have to be that way? So maybe you should try to think of like some alternatives.
Yeah. Okay. That's a valid point. But then there are also arguments for organ trading.
Of course.
Which is that the main one is that there's a long waiting list.
There
As I
is.
read before, about I think in the US about 100,000 in 2020 people are waiting for the organs to be given to them, and sometimes people even die. A lot of people end up dying because they can't end up getting the organ donation that they need, and also there's the black market. The black market at the moment. There's the argument that if someone is able to autonomously donate their organ, why can't they also autonomously sell their organ? Because then it would encourage more people to give organs and sell it even at whatever price, so that it can reduce this long waiting list, and also have more of a say on what happens in this black market, especially because these people are making billions of money off of innocent lives. So that's the big argument for organ trading.
No, and I would agree with parts of that, because you could also say, like, once you legalize it, then, like you're saying, you can have better regulation of the system. So you can make sure you have very thorough checks of the people that, are donating. You also eliminate certain risks that come with, like, let's say, getting kidneys from the black market, because it's like, for instance, the person that donates, like, you don't know how the surgery will go. There could be complications, infections. The surgery is not done well, and then afterwards you may not even have care. For the person that receives it, I've heard, like, botched surgeries, or like they mismatch the organ, and then it's rejected by the person who receives it. So you can eliminate some of those risks if you actually have some regulation over it. I agree with that.
Yeah, no, it's true. And the question of whether to legalize and regulate the organ trade to combat illegal trafficking and organ shortage, it is greatly debated. So the discussion is typically centered around the sale of kidneys by living donors. That's usually the main interest. And since human beings are born with 2 kidneys, but they only need 1 to survive, so it's like you don't need it. So why don't you allow to sell it?
There you go.
So at the moment, there aren't actually many countries where it is legal to sell organs. But can you think of any?
I can't even think of some.
You can. Of course, she's prepared.
Yeah, it's because I'm prepared. I read about Iran. Iran, where it's legal, but I was also reading around, like, the US, for example, where, like, I think we said at the beginning, you can't really sell your organs. There's a ban on selling certain organs, but you are allowed to sell, like, blood, sperm, such things. Eggs. Eggs.
Hint, hint.
You know what I'm saying? Small 10K. For you. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, you're right. Iran is the only nation that allows organs to be bought and sold for money. But that's due to the lack of infrastructure to maintain an efficient organ transplant system. Especially in the early 1980s. And Iran decided to legalize non-related donation of kidneys in 1988. So they have a system, but there has been a few concerns, like donors receive donors receive tax credit compensation from the government. They also get free healthcare insurance and often direct payment from the recipient, with the average donor being paid, guess?
10K. For a kidney? 10K.
No. The average donor is being paid $1,200.
What?
That's why I asked you to guess.
1,200?
Yes.
My friend.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just keep it there. But also the currency is different, so maybe.
Still.
So bear in mind that some donors are also offered employment opportunities.
Oh.
Yeah, don't just sell your organs. Go and work.
Yeah. Give me organs, I'll give you a job.
I'll give you a job.
Such a great trade.
Yes, because the main reason for wanting to sell your organs is because of debt. Really, they usually have people that are willing to sell their organs. They have so much debt, or they're broke, or they just need money, urgent money.
It's true. Maybe we'll get into it, but, like, this triggers me a lot. To be like, We'll give you a job.
What?
You give us your kidney.
Give me your kidney first and I'll give you a job.
We know unemployment is a problem and it's what's making you broke.
Yeah.
But give us your kidney first and then we can give you the job.
And then we can give you the job.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so there are also charity organizations that support recipients that cannot afford the cost of the organ. And however, whilst I said that they're paid around $1,200, Iran does place restrictions on the commercial organ trade in an attempt to limit transplant tourism. The rich people that want to come abroad and be buying organs for cheap. Hey, look out for you. The market is also contained within the country, so you're not allowed to sell organs outside of Iran, and you're not allowed to buy outside of that. So it's literally, you can only trade between within Iranians, and they can only be transported between people of the same nationality. So and then in Iran's legal markets, the price of a kidney, as I said before, it can range from $2,000 to $4,000, but I gave you the average. That's currently And on the black market, the same kidney, guess how much can be the price of the same kidney in the black market?
Like I said, a good 10K.
A good 10K. Interesting point. On the black market, in this same Iran that they're selling organs for $1,200, on the black market, the kidney would cost about $160,000.
Hey!
The same kidney.
This is why I'm like, my friend, you're being cheated out of big money. 1,000.
Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
I'm going to the black market.
Yeah.
I'm going to the black market. I don't care.
There's a huge gap though. There is a huge, that's usually like 106,000. That's usually what most middlemen would pay to get that, and the rich men are the ones that are able to receive that much. But the typical price paid to donors on the black market is thought to be about 5,000. That's a typical price.
Okay.
But some donors receive as little as 1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So in addition to these black market transplants, they're often dangerous to both the donors and the recipient, with some ended up contracting hepatitis or HIV. So there are risks at the end of the day that need to be addressed. But like that makes me just think like this whole black market is an issue.
Yeah, a big problem.
It's a big problem. What can we do better?
What can we do better to tackle the black market?
Yeah, the black market. Now, do you think that's legalizing organ trade is the solution to make it better? What can be done better to address this? Because there's clearly a huge inequality in terms of who receives organ transplantation and how much people get from it as well. We've seen that.
100%. So if you were to ask me, let's say I was Minister of Health of Zimbabwe.
Today she's Zim. See this, today she was talking about Cameroon lost against Switzerland. She was talking about how she's Swiss. So now she's saying that she's Zim. My Zim people, please, you have to disown her.
My days.
Disown her because she has not. She has been disclaiming. She has been refuting this country. Just so you know.
Please say allegedly, because that is an allegation.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
Behind the scenes.
I will deny any and all claims that I have refuted the great nation of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
I love my country. I love my people. And
speak. First, hold the mic.
I love my country.
Yes.
I love my people of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Yes, Zimbabwe. As we used to call it.
Yes.
Us, the people.
It's okay, I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. So if I was Minister of Health of such a great nation and someone came to me like, we have a high demand for kidneys, but we don't have enough supply of the kidneys, should we just ask people to sell their kidneys? I would say no, I don't think that's the right way to go about it. Personally, I feel like, I think you mentioned before that it's like, now more and more people want to come up and like sell their kidneys, but then you can also think about the people that would have done it just altruistically. Now those people won't come up, because I'm like, I could have donated my organs, but knowing that I could have gotten money for it, like, why would I just give them up? I would just give them up for free. So those people might now, like, so I don't think it will automatically mean your supply of kidneys will be enough for your organs, or will it even be enough to meet the demand? Which brings me to that. Why don't you tackle the demand side of the equation as well? Why don't you try introduce measures to prevent people from getting kidney failure? Why don't you tackle that problem? Why don't you have more health promotion so that people are not, let's say, abusing alcohol so much? Things that will lead to liver damage, kidney damage, and all these things, and them getting to a point where they require an organ donation. So yeah, if I had the choice of like how to allocate resources, I don't know if I'd allocate resources to regulating the organ market. I'd rather allocate resources to actually tackling the root of the problem, allocate resources to dealing with poverty in my country, dealing with all these other inequalities, rather than the organ market. Organ market, I think, it could be a temporary problem to a like much bigger, temporary solution to a much bigger problem rather. I don't think it would solve the problem in the long term, because you still have poverty, you still have inequalities and all these things.
Wow, she's a smart woman at the end of the day.
Thank you.
She's a smart woman, I must say that.
Thank you.
Swiss. As I was
I just think, why can't I be both? The world tries to put me in these boxes.
Look at her. We'll talk later. No, that's a very good point. I think what can be done better. I was looking into case studies in places like Australia and Singapore, and they recently legalized monetary compensation.
Okay.
For living organ donors. So people that would usually partake in such initiatives, they don't usually get paid for whatever organs they're giving. So rather, these measures are merely to compensate these donors for the costs associated with donating an organ. So for example, Australian donors receive 9 weeks paid leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Paid leave at a rate corresponding to the national minimum wage, and also kidney disease advocacy organizations in both countries, in Singapore and Australia, have expressed their support for these new initiatives.
I think that's great. But you just reminded me of an argument I came across. Someone was just giving their TED talk. And they were for, the sale of organs. And they're like, look what happened in, like, they were talking about, like, South Africa or something. They're like, people were allowed to go there and sell their organs. And then afterwards, they booked hotels to go do tourism. And they were having fun. And they used money from their organs to buy surfboards. And they were just surfing. I was like, babe, what? What?
See, that's
you think after my surgery, I'm going to be out there surfing? What?
It depends, I don't want to stereotype, but I know some people that literally, some of these like rappers. Yeah. Some of these rappers just literally be like, I'm going to sell my kidney for the dollars.
For the dollars.
The dollars, and to flex on the ground with the dollars. It doesn't always happen, bro. I've seen it allegedly.
Allegedly.
I've seen that happen.
Oh, bruh.
Where it's like, sir, how are you selling? Literally, they'll go and sell their kidneys to be able to get a yacht.
The yachts. But yeah, there will be people that will say, I value a yacht more than my kidney. Imagine.
My enemies are after me. Some people would go to depths for money. They would go the lengths.
They'll go to the lengths.
Yeah.
Just for the money.
This is my
thing. It's like you get the money one time. It's not gonna continue.
Yeah.
The money won't continue.
It will not continue. And I mentioned earlier that most people, when they want to sell their organs, is to pay off debt.
Yeah.
But most of the time they get back into those debts right after. So if you're not good with your money, if you're like if you've been in the poverty line for so long, it is very difficult to come out if you do not have long-term multiple sources of income and stuff like that. So even if you pay off the debt, like the case that we had today, he paid off his debt, but he's also very likely to have another debt once that money finishes. If it's in a country like Afghanistan where there's a conflict or there's not adequate healthcare, now you donated your organ, organ, now you have long-term complications and you have to go back to the doctor and have more and more out-of-pocket payments. So the cycle continues.
The cycle continues. That's why I'm like, okay, at least I see in the Iran case where it's like, instead of just offering like hard cash, they offer like free healthcare. You can offer free tuition to someone or something. And I like this case in Australia where they're talking about, you know, paid would it be paid leave? Either way,
leave. It is paid leave.
9 weeks.
Yeah, it's paid leave.
Take both the kidneys. Take both of them.
So, as I was saying before, in many cases, people who sell their organs in order to pay off their debt, they don't manage to escape this debt and they remain trapped in this cycle. And reports from the World Health Organization actually shows that decreased health and economic well-being for those who donate their organs. And 58% of donors reported negative health consequences.
Yeah.
And in Egypt, as many as 78% of donors experienced negative health outcomes. And 96% of donors stated that they regretted donating. 96%.
96%.
So it just goes to show that an organ is still a big part of your health, like your body.
It is. Me personally, it's almost like there's no price tag.
There's no price tag. It's quite a big. And now there's also this other technique, which is a kidney pair, which are kidney pair donations.
What's that?
So a kidney pair donation, for example, is when nations apart from Iran prohibit financial transactions for organs, and so most of them would permit like pair donations or what you call kidney swaps across multiple parties. So for example, if two people are, let's say you have one couple, a married couple, another married couple, and one husband wants to imagine one husband wants to donate his kidney to his wife, but he's not because of blood incompatibility.
They're not a match.
Okay. So you match with another couple and you basically swap, and you donate your organs to the other wife and vice versa.
Yeah, you see some people out there going to swinging parties, doing funny things amongst couples. Others are exchanging kidneys.
Nah.
Think about that.
Your brain went far. I didn't know how she made the link, but she managed to. She's very powerful.
Yes.
A very powerful woman.
Creative.
So that you think that these kidney pair donations are a form of sale?
Oh. Came on, I know, it's just that's great and funny, but for real stuff.
Is that a form of sale?
I think it's a form of sale. I don't know if it's the right word, but I'd say it is a trade.
It's a trade. I give you this, you give me that.
Yeah.
So would you do it?
Do kidney swap?
Yes.
With someone else's?
Yes. You're not just cheering right now. Was you just not cheering 5 seconds ago?
Would you do that?
Why not?
Just give another man your kidney.
If I need it, and let's
accept another man's kidney.
If I'm in need, why not?
So you two would look at each other and you'd be like, I have your man's kidney.
Oh my gosh, I'm not that possessive. Like, still my man at the end of the day. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing. I think it makes sense. It makes complete sense. And obviously it's not limited to just couples, so it can be anyone.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, maybe they should make an app for this.
You're giving them ideas.
What?
Giving them ideas?
Yeah.
The black market people did.
Oh, facts. They would be on there.
They were like,
they say, look at all these people just offering their kidneys.
Let me just scam. Imagine you donate your kidney and you get scammed. Imagine you get scammed and say I gave my kidney and I never received the money.
Yo, I was watching a video from like Vice News. I might link to it. It was quite good. There's talking about this woman. Hey, She applied for a job in like India, good pay, everything. She was setting everything up, ready to go to India. Then they call her, they're like, oh, the employer requires health checks. Bruh.
Wow. What did they
Bruh. They wanted to take her kidney.
No.
It was a scam.
No.
And so she literally went to the police and reported it. She was like, these people were trying to take my kidney, but they pretended to be offering me a job.
Oh my god.
Bruh.
What? That is crazy.
Not to give people trust issues.
No, please, I apply for that job. Apply for that job.
Apply for that job
they
still,
get
but
creative.
stay woke,
They do be getting creative.
Yeah.
When you give this app idea, what is good, they will use it.
They will find a way.
They'll find a way.
They will find a way. So yeah, stay woke, people.
So yeah, like I think such pair donations are arguably a form of organ sale.
Yeah.
So instead of purchasing a kidney for a loved one with cash, a person pays for it with his or her own money.
Yeah.
So in fact, in the United States, the spread of kidney paired donations was initially stymied due to the language in the National Organ Transplantation Act bearing the transfer of human organs for valuable consideration. And it was only after the law was amended to specifically allow for kidney paired donations that the practice became more popular. So yeah. So now what I think should be done better, I think that that's an option, but we have to be careful with that because the black market, they're on the lookout.
They're waiting in the dark.
They're waiting. But what can be done better is one of these, as we mentioned earlier, the opt-in, opt-out systems that we've seen quite a few countries adopt. Not the opt-in, opt-out systems only, please.
Yeah.
Have that more and more. We encourage other countries to do that whilst obtaining organs from cadavers. It's not the most viable organ that you would have, but it still does have an impact, and we highly recommend countries, more and more nations, to do that. Another method is to have enact laws that would actually hold doctors accountable. Yes. So if you are suspecting, if you're a doctor and you're suspecting that this patient is all of a sudden coming in with all these complications, the kidney is not working, they have one kidney, there potentially is a missing kidney, or they tell you that, I donated my organ, meanwhile they sold it in the black market. Whilst it does run the risk of violating that doctor-patient consent and whatnot, but I think it is also in their best interest to investigate and to find out what's going on behind it and make sure that they're not being exploited for this reason. What do you think?
No, I think that's completely right. And where I even thought you were going with that was for other doctors to be keeping an eye on the other doctors and nurses, because a huge part of that black market is doctors themselves. They're also getting money.
No, that's what's crazy. Have you watched the Squid Game?
Yes!
You remember when the doctor, this doctor, he was the one, he looked so, trustworthy.
Yeah.
On the show, he looked so trustworthy, you could never imagine, but he was the one.
He was the one.
He was the one that was actually doing the surgery.
I mean, hurry up.
Hurry up. So, I think the medical profession, it is dignifiable. And if we can't be trusted, then we will need to hold our doctors accountable.
Yeah.
Look out for the doctors too. You're right. Yeah.
Just watch all your backs.
Watch out. Watch out, all of you.
Yeah.
And then there's also this thing called the Erin Harris model.
The Erin Harris model.
Yes.
That sounds great.
Yes. And it states that with this, it promotes this scheme, right, where under this scheme would be sellers of organs that do not contract with a would-be recipient. So you have a government agency that essentially does the buying and the selling of organs, and the recipients are not aware of who the donors are. So they have a system already put in place where the government works with charities and hospitals to set up a scheme where people can sell their organs even anonymously for a certain price, and then the same vice versa. And also they receive monetary compensation, like paid leave, their health is covered and whatnot. So I think that would be a solution.
I like that. I like that.
There's not a model that's like a free market model.
No,
Me
this one's like
personally,
chaos.
I don't think I recommend it. Like I mean, people have, but I think for me, I wouldn't recommend it because whilst it does advocate for the implementation of like a free market system to combat organ shortages and make it equal, but it's not gonna be equal. It's only gonna profit the black market or the rich people or
you're
both.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
So. Yeah, do you have any advice that you'd give to listeners that, what can we take away from this message?
Wow. Don't let anyone tell you the worth of your organs.
Ooh.
Yeah. Negotiate. Butter. Fight.
She said negotiate, not the organ negotiation.
Nah, for reals. Like I think what I found interesting was the percentage of people that you said, like a huge majority of them end up like regretting donating their organs. So yeah, I think that just goes to show that it's not something you make, a quick decision about. And I even understand that even if you're wanting to donate out of the goodness of your own heart, which is like brave, it's still not an easy decision. If you're gonna donate, do it somewhere where it's legal. Don't do it in the dark.
So she should go to Iran. Is that what you're saying?
But Iran doesn't even allow that.
No.
Right? It doesn't allow, you will go to black market in Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you wanna do it legally, donate it. Try see, maybe there's some people, maybe not be someone in your family, but it could be someone else looking for an organ. Don't donate blood if you can. Blood is always needed.
It's always needed.
Yeah, you can always donate that. It'll come back, don't worry.
So it will come back. The blood is flowing.
It will just continue
through your body, through your veins.
Yes.
No, 100% spot on.
Yeah.
I agree. I think I would highly recommend people to donate more and more blood because it's needed. It is a need out there. And for me, I would say doctors.
Oh.
I'm speaking to you. You're a doctor. You have a legal responsibility.
Yes.
To not participate in the black market. I am sorry. I am making it clear. You should not be there. Did you not sign your Hippocratic oath? Do no harm.
Do no harm.
Non-maleficent, benevolent, and all that. Do you forget? Ooh. Why are you doing this to people?
Ooh.
Huh? So check your life, check yourself, and look out for other doctors as well. As we mentioned earlier with this, what can we do better? That's something that should be done better. Look out for each other, especially if you see someone's looking a bit funny.
They're just taking the patient somewhere.
All of a sudden, you don't hear from them. They're just being a bit shady.
Their patients are just dying.
Their patients are just dying all of a sudden. You don't know why. It's okay to, just look out. Nurses as well, not just doctors. Nurses too, because they can be associates. Can be associates. and my other, I would also address the charitable organizations and the NGOs. They're doing a great job. We obviously need people like you. We need you, but I think we also need to advocate for more and more systems where people get compensated for organ donation, so that people can feel more. They can feel more.
They can be incentivized.
Yeah, they can be incentivized to say, okay, actually, this sounds like a nice. See, when I mentioned the paid leave, you're like, that sounds interesting. Yeah. So, and that's another way. Maybe not making it completely legal to trade organs directly between each other, but things like that would have an impact on the waiting list that we have at the moment.
Yeah, because we were discussing earlier, like I thought it was crazy. Someone pointed out that, if you think about it, between donor, recipient, and the surgeons and all these people, like if you're in that operating room, the surgeons, the nurses, they get paid, don't they, for their skills and all their training. The person receiving the organ, they will get an organ, more years added to their life, but the donor really normally doesn't get anything. So I think you're right, like some kind of compensation is justified.
If you're thinking of selling your organs, if that ever gets legal, make it high.
Ooh,
Make the price high. You're worth it. You're worth it, baby.
So we could try.
Get high.
Yeah.
I think we can close it off for
Yes,
today.
we can.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode of the World Health Investigation Podcast. We have been your hosts, and I am Jocelyn.
I'm Edna.
And we have been your host of the World Health Investigation Podcast.
Yes.
So what's a plug? What's the social media?
What's the plug? So if you wanna find us, we are on LinkedIn, Facebook. Just look World Health Investigation Podcast.
Yes.
You see a nice orange banner. That's us. That's us.
As you can see our faces.
Yes. On Twitter and Instagram. We are at
WHI_podcast. And now, come on, by now you should know this. WHI_podcast. She's my co-host. She's supposed to be knowing this. Edna.
Guys, Jocelyn has like a knife right there.
This
whole time I didn't want to say anything.
Allegations. I'm gonna sue you very soon. These allegations, please. And then we also have TikTok. Small banter. If you want to see us fight like this every day, we don't always fight on TikTok.
We fight just outside.
But we're clearly not normal people.
I mean, speak for yourself.
I think by now we can agree that she's not normal either. So make sure you follow us on TikTok, okay? At WHI_podcast. Thank you very much for listening and have a lovely rest of the week.
Bye.
Bye.